Amara's fingers shook as she held the crisp bills she had saved for weeks. 5 $1 notes, folded so many times they were soft at the edges. Her eyes, wide and hopeful, locked on the book she had been dreaming about. The cover gleamed from the shelf, deep blue with an astronaut floating among the stars, helmet reflecting galaxies. For her, it wasn't just a book. It was a door to somewhere far away from the whispers, the stares, the small-town cruelty she lived with every day. But before her hand could close around it, a sharp voice cut through the stillness of the bookstore. "Put that back," barked the shopkeeper. The words landed like a slap. Amara froze, her hand inches from the cover. Slowly, she turned. The shopkeeper stood behind the counter, a tall white man in his late 50s, with thinning gray hair combed carefully back and square glasses perched on his nose. His pale blue apron hung stiffly, a name tag pinned to it that read Mr. Whitman. But his eyes weren't patient or kind. They burned with suspicion. "I wasn't stealing," Amara whispered, her voice small, trembling. She lifted the money in her hand as proof. "I've been saving. I just want to buy it." Mr. Whitman stepped out from behind the counter, his footsteps heavy against the polished wood floor. He folded his arms across his chest, his shadow stretching toward her like a warning. "Don't lie to me. I've seen your type. Always wandering around, pretending, waiting for a chance to slip something under your coat." His eyes narrowed at her hoodie, faded and a size too big. "You think I don't notice?" Her cheeks burned. The bills in her hand fluttered as she tried to steady her trembling fingers. "I'm telling the truth. I came to buy this book. That's all." But he didn't move. His glare pressed into her like a weight, making her chest tighten until breathing hurt. The humiliation sank deep. Her excitement, her weeks of saving, all of it shriveled under the cold light of his distrust. Her eyes welled, and before she could stop them, tears streaked down her cheeks, and then another voice. "Excuse me?" a woman said, clear and strong, carrying across the quiet shop. Both Amara and Mr. Whitman turned. Near the shelves, an older woman stepped forward. She was in her late 60s, her white hair pulled neatly into a bun, her long beige coat brushing against the floor as she walked. Her pale blue eyes burned through the shopkeeper like steel. "I've been standing here," she said, her tone sharp, unwavering. "I saw this girl walk in. I saw her pick up that book. And I saw her take out her money. She has done nothing wrong." Mr. Whitman's jaw tightened, but his voice dripped with the same venom. "Ma'am, you don't understand. Kids like her—" The woman's voice cracked like thunder. "Kids like her? What exactly do you mean by that?" Amara's throat burned, her small voice breaking through the tension. "I just wanted a book about space." She looked down at the cover, her tears dotting the glossy surface. "I want to be an astronaut one day." The shop fell silent. The fluorescent light hummed overhead, the only sound. The woman crouched until her eyes met Amara's. Her face softened, though her eyes still glistened with anger for what she had just witnessed. She reached out, brushing a damp curl from the girl's cheek. "Oh, sweetheart," she said gently, "don't you ever let anyone steal your dreams." "Not him! Not anyone!" She straightened again, her shoulders squaring as she turned back to the counter. "You will ring this up," she demanded, her voice stern. "And I'll pay for it." Mr. Whitman's face flushed deep red. He muttered something under his breath, but he obeyed, snatching the book from Amara's hand. He slid it across the scanner with a sharp beep, stuffed it into a brown paper bag, and shoved it onto the counter without meeting either of their eyes. The older woman strode over, snatched the bag, and handed it to Amara. Her voice softened again, filled with warmth. "This belongs to you, darling, because your dreams are bigger than his hate." Amara clutched the bag to her chest, her tears spilling faster now, but for a different reason. Someone, finally, someone had stood up for her. They walked together out of the shop, the bell above the door jingling sharply behind them. Outside, the street bustled with life, people moving past unaware of the small storm that had just raged inside. The woman slowed, turning to look down at Amara. "Why space?" she asked gently. Amara hugged the book tighter, her voice shaky but sure. "Because up there no one cares what color you are. In space, you're just free. The woman's eyes softened, glistening. She reached out, squeezing Amara's hand. Then that's where you'll go. And when you do, you'll shine so bright they'll never be able to look away. Amara's chest swelled with something new, something that replaced the shame Mr. Whitman had tried to pour into her. It was hope. It was belonging. It was the reminder that even in a world that tried to crush her, there would always be people who saw her for who she truly was. As they walked down the busy street, Amara pressed the book against her heart. The fear and humiliation still lingered, but so did the memory of the woman's words. For the first time, her dream felt less impossible, and though she was just a girl with 5 crumpled bills and a single book, she carried the weight of the stars inside her because someone had reminded her she was worthy of them.